Okay, so going back to this whole idea of finding your kid's passion, and now we've said, you've got to give them opportunity, you've got to expose them to things, and you can't know until you know. I love our beautiful Spencer Hart, who was not talking, and her mother put Phantom of the Opera on just because it was on. And they discovered that Spencer is a beautiful, talented opera singer and has been to China,
but you
has
wouldn't
sung at the
know
White House.
unless you exposed. You see, this is the thing.
Exactly.
And you sometimes
Exactly.
don't know. This is what worries me today is kids aren't getting, I mean, the reason I got exposed to the beef industry was when my mother got remarried when I was 14, that brought the ranch into the family. And if I had not gone to that ranch, I would not be in the cattle industry. It's that simple.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example. It's strictly exposure.
So you got to keep throwing darts at the wall and just expose.
That's
Right. But what are we looking for that tells us, okay, this is the passion? How, like, what kinds of things?
Well,
are we
all right,
looking
let's just
I
look at
think
it
we
really
miss
simple.
it.
Let's say you show a math kid the Wolfram Mathematica website and he just takes off in it. Or
Okay.
you dug that old algebra book out of the attic and he actually did it all, and you went and showed his work to the high school algebra teacher and he was amazed.
There we go.
It could be that simple.
But a lot of things aren't going to be the thing. You might hand the algebra book and it becomes the doorstop. So
I'm
move on.
I'm not going to handle the art kid, the algebra book, because
Right.
I've talked before about the different minds, and that's in my autistic brain book. This shows the science that there really is. Visual thinkers are object visualizers. Object visualizers. These are the art minds. These are also going to be the skilled trades, mechanical, machinery design, people I worked with in construction. Then you have the mathematicians, your computer programmers, the more mathematical parts of engineering. Then you've got word thinkers. Okay, I'm going to be doing talk with the judges group. They're all word thinkers. So I've got to try to explain to them what visual thinking is. And I'm not going to give the person who's totally into art the algebra book.
Okay.
And in the autistic brain book, I talk about careers, some of the different kinds of minds. I mean, I use a little bit of discretion, but you also got to figure out what classes is he good at. And a lot of the math kids are being taught baby math. So you have a kid's good at math, let's expose them to programming. Scratch programming for little kids, and then JavaScript. You want to learn how Minecraft works? Here's a book about how to do Minecraft.
There you go.
And
so,
and you're going to quickly figure out what he is, or he's maybe going to be a word kid. So he's going to love the Harry Potter books.
Yeah. So let's say, for instance, you sat your kids down and you watched the SpaceX launch, and your kid got like really excited and was jumping up and down and hand flapping, and you saw that, ooh, they really, really liked that. So then,
all right, first of all, I got to know the age of the kid.
So let's say that I'm just making this scenario up. Let's say that you let's say that you got a 5-year-old. They watched the SpaceX launch and they got very, very excited. What's the next thing that you could do to sort of feed that passion?
Well, you could play with some water rockets to get an idea of how rocket works. Now 5, he's probably gonna be a little too young for the math.
Right.
There's math involved just even with a water rocket. Those are things.
But even to get like a little.
And also, okay, let's use rockets for reading. All right, so he liked the SpaceX launch. All right, let's get a children's book about when we went to the moon.
Right.
And we can look things up on the NASA website to see that. Well, let's use it to teach reading too.
Yeah.
Just read about the history of rockets, and actually the Chinese invented the first rockets. Just read about it. You see, that's taking that interest and broadening it out. I can get reading into it. I can get he gets a little older, I can get some more complicated math in it. Those are simple things you could do with that. Because a 5-year-old could be an art kid and love that, or be a math kid and love that.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of times as parents, we're trying to get our kids to some mythical place that we don't even know what it looks like. But sometimes I think we miss the key that this is what the kid is passionate about. Because I hear parents talking about, well, how do I get him to stop perseverating on X? Whatever.
All right, take whatever it is and broaden it. Broaden it. Okay, first of all, tell me what it is he perseverates on.
Well, it could be anything, but like parents will write in and say, for instance, my kid is perseverating on Thomas the Tank.
All right, Thomas the Tank. All right, that's a common one. All right, let's learn more about different kinds of trains.
Right.
You got freight trains, passenger trains, you got antique trains. Let's learn about the history of the railroads
Yeah.
and how they first went across the United States. Okay, see how I'm taking Thomas and I'm broadening him
Yes.
into a much bigger whole section of trains, a whole great big subject of trains, where I can have reading in it. I can do simple math, calculate if a train is going 60 miles an hour, how long would it take to go from, Salt Lake City to Denver.
Yeah. But so just take it and like
take
Kathy,
that thing,
pull it.
take Thomas and broaden it. And broaden. Now, if the kid's really young, well, maybe we're going to just learn about freight trains, freight trains, passenger trains, and maybe old-fashioned trains.
Yes.
And maybe read some other train books, children's train books, to start to broaden. But you have an associative link back to Thomas, because Thomas is a train, after all.
Yes.
He's part of a train.
Yes. And so now people are writing in about what their kids tend to go towards. Somebody said, my son is 9 and he's into jigsaw puzzles. Is he a visual thinker?
Jigsaw puzzles may be more of a math thinker. I would start, I'd expose them to that Wolfram Mathematica site, and I'd start showing them some protein symmetry.
It's crazy. It's good.
And protein symmetry. It's crazy. It's a magical
It's
keyword
wonderful.
when you use it on Google for images. It's amazing. I just looked at it again the other day. I looked all those things up again, make sure they were still sufficiently cool. I would start
totally turned me on to that. I love it.
Maybe simple children's Scratch programming, which is
Yeah.
a children's free computer program. It's called Scratch. Let's start showing them that. Okay. All right. What's another one?
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.